Spurs are 8th in the Premier League table going into the Bournemouth clash on Thursday evening. Some match facts and stats ahead of our trip to the South Coast. Akhamrich is up for the Premier League 2 Player of the Month award. Fabrizio Romano has stated that Lecce rejected Tottenham's approach for Patrick Dorgu. And Postecoglou has stated nothing too significant in the January transfer window, but if we still have 9 players out, we will do some business. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start by talking about the Premier League results from Tuesday and Wednesday evening. On Tuesday, 2 games took place. Crystal Palace beating Ipswich 1-0 at Portman Road and Leicester beating West Ham 3-1. Now, 6 games took place on Wednesday evening. Everton beating Wolves 4-0. Manchester City beating Nottingham Forest 3-0. Newcastle 3, Liverpool 3. What a thriller that was. Southampton 1, Chelsea 5. Arsenal 2, Manchester United 0. And Aston Villa 3, Brentford 1. 2 games will take place on Thursday evening in the Premier League. Fulham against Brighton and, of course, Spurs travel to Bournemouth, 8:15pm kickoff. Now, after Tuesday's and Wednesday's results in the Premier League, Spurs are now down to 8th in the table. We have 20 points from 13 games. We are 6 points adrift of the top 4 now. But a win against Bournemouth could put Spurs up to 5th. If Spurs fail to win against Bournemouth and Fulham beat Brighton, Spurs will be down to 9th in the table. Now, as I've already mentioned, Spurs travel to Bournemouth Thursday evening in the Premier League. Here are some match facts and stats. Heung-min Son has 9 goal involvements in his last 10 Premier League starts against Bournemouth. That's 7 goals and 2 assists. Midfielder James Maddison has had a hand in 14 goals across his 18 away league starts for Spurs. That's 6 goals and 8 assists. Dejan Kulusevski has 9 goal involvements across his last 13 away league starts for Spurs. That's 5 goals and 4 assists. Each of our last 5 Premier League away wins have been to nil, including a 4-0 victory at reigning champions Manchester City last time out. However, we haven't won any of our last 14 when conceding on the road. That is 5 draws and 9 defeats since a 2-1 win at Crystal Palace back in October 2023. Bournemouth are unbeaten in all 4 of their Premier League games played on Thursdays, winning 1 and drawing 3. Bournemouth have won 3 of their last 4 Premier League home games, though did lose 2-1 against Brighton last time out. They have not lost consecutive home league games since October 2023. Now, some good news. Akhamrich has been nominated for November's Premier League 2 Player of the Month award. The 19-year-old left winger contributed 4 goals across 2 league games for under-21s last month, netting our consolation in our 5-1 loss at Crystal Palace on the 1st of November before rattling in an excellent hat-trick in last week's 6-1 triumph over Middlesbrough. Now, Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has given an update on Tottenham Hotspur target Patrick Dorgu. He has stated Lecce talent Patrick Dorgu won Danish Young Player of the Year after excellent performances during 2024 in Italy and with the national team. Dorgu is on the list of several top clubs expected to leave Lecce in 2025 after they rejected Tottenham and Chelsea and Strasbourg approaches. Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou spoke in his embargoed press conference about how many players he would like in the January transfer window. He said it is a little bit tricky and a lot will depend on what happens in the next 3 weeks, who we get back in that time, where we sit with the health of the squad at the beginning of January. But January is a tricky one. I wouldn't expect us to do many significant things in January, but if January the 1st, we are in exactly the same position that we are now with 9 players out, I reckon we will be doing something. Ange Postecoglou was also asked in the embargoed press conference, did he want a bigger squad? His reply was, it just depends. A bigger squad with just numbers, no. A bigger squad of players who are able to contribute is more important to me. I don't think that we have had the capacity to do that. We are 3 transfer windows into building a team, a squad, a playing style. So I don't think that we will get to that point, and that is what we need to keep reinforcing, where we have a squad and a group of players who can just compete in the elite European competitions and domestically. Ange Postecoglou then went on to say some of it this year has been important. We've also had soft tissue injuries, obviously, and we've got 3 at the moment, and Vicario, Romero, illnesses and suspensions. They always happen, but you just hope they spread out more than they have for us. No doubt, we've still got work to do with the squad and the team, which I don't think would surprise you or anyone. The Spurs under-21s will be in action on Friday evening as we will be hosting Monaco in the Premier League International Cup. The game will take place at the Lameck Stadium in Stevenage, 7 p.m. kickoff. The Spurs women will be in action on Sunday in the Women's Super League as we will be hosting Everton. That is a 1 p.m. kickoff. And the Spurs under-18s are also in action on Sunday, 12 noon kickoff, as we will be hosting Middlesbrough in the FA Youth Cup. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode. Let's start by talking about the Bournemouth game on Thursday in the Premier League. This is a must-win for Spurs, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a very, very entertaining game. Even former Spurs boss Harry Redknapp has come out and said this is going to be a fantastic game. And his prediction is 2-2. I believe there is going to be goals, but Spurs do need a win in the Premier League right now, and it would be nice to go up to 5th. Only 3 points away from the top 4. Yes, we have a lot of injury problems at the moment, but these players are more than capable of winning football matches, and they need to give absolutely everything in order to win it. It's going to be difficult. Certainly those stats I read out earlier on in this episode. Bournemouth haven't lost on a Thursday. What stat that is, they have stats for everything these days. But they do have a good home record. They have an excellent manager and they are playing some super stuff. But Spurs do need to give absolutely everything. We know how we can play on our day. It is about us being consistent and, going to places like this and winning the match and coming away with 3 points. It is going to be a very, very tough month, I might add, because Bournemouth on Thursday, 3 days later, Chelsea at home. That's going to be a very difficult game. Chelsea are on fire at the moment. Next week, Rangers away in the Europa League, followed by Southampton away in the Premier League. Then, of course, we play that Carabao Cup quarter-final against Manchester United at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Then Liverpool at home in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest away on Boxing Day. Wolves at home on the 29th of December, and then 2024 is over. And then we go into January and, of course, face Newcastle at home, Arsenal away. Games are coming thick and fast, and none of these games are easy. Let's hope that players like Christian Romero are back very soon. Mickey van der Ven, of course. Let's hope that they are back very soon, and let's hope that they can help us win some of these very difficult matches in December and January. Now, Ange Postecoglou spoke in the press conference on Wednesday about the January transfer window. He said nothing too significant in January, but if we are still in a position where we have 9 players out, then of course we will look to do business. Spurs should be looking to do business regardless of injuries, suspensions and so on. Spurs need reinforcements in this squad. I think most of us said it in the summer that we need experienced players to come in. Ange Postecoglou has spoken about 18-year-olds, young players coming into a Premier League squad and not being ready. Of course, Archie Gray, I would expect him to actually feature heavily in the Bournemouth game, but that is a one-off. Other players like Lucas Bergvall, Ange Postecoglou has already said he is not ready to be starting Premier League games. He's already come out and said, that Jed Spence, even at his age, is not ready to start Premier League games. So that's going to be an interesting one. But Spurs should be looking to do business in January, signing reinforcements for Ange Postecoglou, planning ahead, way ahead of this January transfer window. We need reinforcements in all areas, in my opinion. We could do with a new goalkeeper. We could do with another centre-back. We could do with another midfielder, another creative player. We could certainly do with some help in that final third. I believe there's a lot of work to do in the January window. I know Ange Postecoglou has used that word again, tricky. I know, and I am, realistic about this as a football fan, as a Tottenham Hotspur fan, that the January transfer window is tricky. But we need to look to that summer transfer window as well and bring in some major reinforcements, some real quality players with good experience. I'm a great fan of bringing in players for the future. But at the same time, you need to be bringing in players ready for now. So when you do get these injuries, and let's face it, we have been here before. We were here last season having all of these injury problems, and we're here again. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you Spurs.